Wyoming's next, Sarah is calling. Hey, Sarah, welcome to the EntreLeadership podcast.
Hi, Dave. It's such an honor to speak with you today.
You too. What's up in your world?
So I'm the CEO of an education company with about 35 employees, and we've done about $4.3 million in revenue this year. And my question is, how do I advocate to my board for the proper pay for our C-suite team?
What kind of C-suite team have you got with 35 people?
Me, a COO, so operations, and a CFO, finance.
Who's the CEO?
I'm the CEO.
Oh, I thought you said you're the COO. I misunderstood. Okay.
Oh,
so
sorry.
You have a CFO and a CEO, and you're both underpaid.
In a operations, there's three of us.
Oh, a COO. Okay. So COO, CEO, and CFO, and you're all three underpaid.
I'm not sure. It feels that way, but I don't know.
Why does it feel that way?
I make less than I did as a teacher with the same company.
Has nothing to do with it. Wait a minute. You were a teacher. You have 35 employees. The rest of them are teachers?
The majority of them are, yeah.
Okay. And the person running the place makes less than the rest of the employees?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm also a little confused as to why a 35-person organization has a board. Who owns this?
The founders own it.
Okay. And they don't operate it. They turned the operation over to an external board?
No, they are the board.
Okay. So our current owners, they're not in the office every day, and you don't feel like they're paying leadership enough because leadership doesn't even make what the downline makes.
Correct.
Okay. All right. It's making a lot more sense. Okay. So you're going to the owner and saying, how does it feel to you that the CEO makes less than the rest of the staff? And the owner would say what?
So when I had that discussion with her last year, she got a little bit emotional about it. And
what is emotional about it?
I feel like, it's a feel thing. So they didn't do anything with my pay that year. And so this year, I don't want it to come across as confrontational. Just, can I have a conversation about why you feel that this is like the best pay for the C-suite team?
And she got mad about that?
Yeah, she got a little bit twisted up about it.
Thou doth protest too loudly. Sounds defensive, like she knows she's screwing you.
That's what my husband thinks, Mr. Ramsey.
Okay. All right. So, there's a couple things that need to happen here. Anytime you are negotiating or making decisions, there's two things that will give you great power in decision making and in negotiating. And one of them is options. The second one is information. So anytime you're entering a negotiation, you need to have options other than the person you're negotiating with, lots of them, to where that deal you're not married to that deal. And the second thing is you need to know a lot about what you're talking about. And so if someone in our organization says, I don't feel like I make enough, that doesn't really mean anything. There should be a reason you feel that. So you need some information. You need to do some research on what a $5 million, $4 million top line education company pays their operating CEO. Okay, and the COO and the CFO. Okay, it's a little unusual to have all three of those in a 35-person organization, I'll tell you. But you're pretty staffed up there at the top. But that's okay. That's okay. We still want to find out what the average pay is for a CFO of a $5 million, $4 million company. and that is in the education space. And you just do a little bit of research. Mr. Google will tell you everything you want to know. I mean, you can jump on LinkedIn. There's all kinds of tools there for doing compensation research, and do some comp research on yours. And actually find some competitors and, poke around, find out what they're paying. There may be some publicly traded companies that I don't think they would be at $4 million, but there may be somebody out there that can give you some indication on some public stuff that'll show what the pay should be. What do you make?
I make about $125.
Okay. And so I want to establish that is market rate, or that $175 is market rate, or whatever. And I've got 4 or 5 sources. That's information gathering, okay? Which gives you confidence, not a feeling. It also gives you a valid basis to have this discussion. And then options gives you the ability to tell her to stick it and walk and take one of those options if she decides she's going to be emotional about you having a discussion and you run the whole freaking operation for her. I mean, what kind of a leader is this? So I get emotional about stuff, but as somebody asking about something, about pay, I mean, we could talk about it, but I'm not going to give you a raise if you work for us based on a feeling. We don't do feelings in that regard. You'll have to take your feelings somewhere else. A fact is a good thing. So we do comp studies. We figure out what people should be paid. We figure out what they could be paid if they went somewhere else, because we don't want them to go somewhere else. We want them to work here. We need the help. We want to be fair in our pay. You want to be paid fair, but you're not being greedy. And so you do a comp study. You may discover 110 is the market rate. You're being paid 125, in which case you just shut up. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So now you got a new feeling. Satisfaction.
Yeah, the shut up feeling.
Yeah, satisfaction. I get,
yeah.
Or I would rather be a teacher because this doesn't pay enough, or whatever. So
yeah,
it is weird that the teachers get paid more than $125 doing this. What do they teach?
Super specific disability.
Ah, okay. And their personal incomes are higher, is what you're talking about.
Yeah, their weekly pay is higher, and we pay at a different, we pay in the state where the company is located, and it's not in Wyoming.
Okay. And they're spread all over.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I think you need information, and then you need some options of where you're going to work if this doesn't work out. Because what you're describing is a toxic leader that's trying to bully or intimidate you into staying in your place. And if that's what you're dealing with, you don't need to be there. You need to be somewhere else. So you're going to make a decision on that too. So that's your options. Options gives you power and comfort. Here's the thing. If you know you got 3 other places to work and you got information in your hand that says your position's worth $175, and here's some actual data that says that, not a feeling, and you walk in and sit down and talk with this person, your tone of voice will be more confident. You'll be down an octave instead of squeaky and stressed sounding, and you'll just be real calm. And calm scares the crap out of bullies. So her tone may change if she smells that I better behave here or I'm going to be running this thing by myself. So, that it sounds like somebody needs to teach that woman that lesson anyway. But anyway, so that's something you got to talk about. And if you can get information and options, it gives you confidence in the negotiation. And you can say, look, here's what they make over there. These people over here are even making me an offer of this much. I'd rather stay here if we can work this out and you and I can have a good working relationship. And that's what I want to achieve here. And you may discover that she doesn't have that capacity and you have to move on. Or you may discover, oh, look, what happens when I'm prepared for these meetings? And that'll walk you into the situation. So, good question. Sounds like you guys are doing bang-up business. It's a lot of revenue for only 30 people, 35 people. Well done. You're kicking it. So, proud of you.